What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a different type of video. A lot of you have been asking me to compare Dr. Ratio to FEIXIAO, so I thought that the best way to actually do that and showcase it to you guys is by actually pulling for FEIXIAO and then comparing them head to head on the same MOC stage and see which one has better numbers, better clears, and everything like that. I have several tweets for you guys in this one. We have an E6 FEIXIAO showcase and an E6 Dr. Ratio showcase so you guys can see for yourselves, as well as instructions to enter today's giveaway. But first, we have to hear from our friends over at lootbar.gg. The link in the description is going to take you to lootbar.gg. As you can see, they have Genshin Impact, Honkai Sorrow, and ZZZ. Currently, they have a 14% savings on Honkai Sorrow, so you're going to click that. I'm going to buy the $42 pack. This pack is about $49.99, and in lootbar.gg they have it at $42.99. What you're going to want to do is go ahead and go into your menu, make sure that you have your UID. You can go right here and copy your UID, make sure this information is 100% correct, and you're going to make sure that it matches what you put in here. So make sure that matches. Select your server. In my case, it's going to be America, and click top up now. Continue to purchase. Obviously, I'm going to blur out my payment information, but after this, you verify all this, make sure your information is correct. Click pay now. It's going to take a few minutes, so we're going to go in game and see how long it's going to take for us to receive our currency. Let's just go right here and let's... Oh, we already got it right here. 3,080 right there. We already got it. It didn't even take 30 seconds. Now I can summon for my sparkle light cone. Check our friends over at lootbar.gg, link in the description below. To enter today's giveaway is very simple. All you have to do is join the Discord, link in the description below, and also you're going to comment your favorite Honkai Star Rail character, but the catch is you have to misspell the name. If you spell the name correctly, you are not going to be eligible for the giveaway. So good luck to everybody, and let's get right into the video. For FEIXIAO, we're going to be running 3.3k attack, 137 speed on speed boots. I know I said attack boots, but I don't have Robin's S1, and that makes the attack boots feel a little bit clunkier because she doesn't get the ultimate as fast as we would like. So because of that, FEIXIAO doesn't have the extra turns that she normally would get if you had S1 for Robin. I'm not pulling for S1 Robin, but regardless, we're running 137 speed. I am going to run them both on speed boost just to make it a little bit fair. 89 over 150. The 150 gets increased by Robin, by Aventurine, by Moza, and also gets increased by the planar set, which gives you an extra 25% crit damage right here somewhere. Her build is going to be closer to about 280, I think. I didn't really check in game, but we're going to be running the Cruising in the SLC light cone for both FEIXIAO and Dr. Ratio. All their traces, all their DPS traces are maxed out. I'm not going to spend money on this.
You could have leveled up the traces, but you choose not to, which is why I'm a little bit upset.
This is the set. I'm going to go over every piece. My Valora set is actually pretty cracked. Crit rate, crit damage attack. No speed, though. Crit rate, crit damage attack. This is an insane piece. My best piece in the... my best piece that I've ever rolled. Crit damage, because I did get insanely good crit pieces, and also the light cone gives crit, so I'm able to get high crit rate with a crit damage chest. The speed boots have only crit rate, no crit damage on them. I don't have others. All I have is the attack boots that we're not going to use right now. Planar sets have attack planar with crit rate, crit damage, and the same thing with the rope, attack, crit rate, crit damage. So pretty standard. She is E0, and that is going to be the build for FEIXIAO. All right, because of the nature of this test, Dr. Ratio and FEIXIAO are going to be sharing light cones and sharing the planar sets, because the planar set's actually pretty cracked on both. He's going to have a little bit more attack at 3,400, and then crit rate 80 and 150. Remember, Ratio gives himself a little bit more crit rate, so the crit rate actually matches pretty evenly. And then the crit damage obviously is the same thing. They're going to get more crit damage from the rest of the team. Light cone, obviously using Cruising in the SLC, all the DPS... except for this one. This may affect it, may not. I just don't have enough to get this. Relic sets for Dr. Ratio, we have this one with attack speed and crit rate, pretty decent. Attack crit rate, crit damage. We have crit damage chest with a little bit of crit rate. We have speed, crit rate, crit damage, and then the same two planar sets that we have on our FEIXIAO are also on our Ratio. They're going to be sharing that, and they're on E0 as well. Now, as far for the teammates, we are going to be running the Robin that I recently pulled. She has a 3,700 attack, 123 speed. She is running the new S5 Poised to Bloom light cone that gives her 32% attack and then gives crit damage to people that share the same path, which in this case is FEIXIAO and Moza. As far as her traces, every trace that matters is maxed out. And then the relic set, she's on a rainbow set because I just didn't really farm too much for her. And she's also E0. Aventurine is not rocking too much of a DPS build. He is at 37% crit rate. You mainly want him around 52%. So he's really not going to be contributing too much damage. He's running the Japart light cone at level 70. I haven't maxed it out because I use the other light cone. I use this light cone right here, this one. This is the light cone that I mainly use on him, but for today's video, because I don't want to take any chances, we're just gonna use the Japart one. Traces, every trace that would make the team not die is maxed out. I am working on my Venturine. Remember, I pulled a Venturine. I didn't even want him. I just pulled him, did a 10 pull, or I think it was like I was building pity or something and I pulled him. So, but I didn't really want him initially. And then his relics are just pretty much 2-piece speed, 2-piece damage reduction with the broken keel, because he gives himself pretty much a free broken keel. This is a cracked piece for him. Has all 4. This is a really good piece. Defense, crit rate, crit damage. We have this one with crit damage, defense, and speed. We have speed with crit rate. Here we have defense main with crit rate, and then we have another defense main with crit rate. Maybe running energy recharge for a team like this may work, but I don't want to mess with it. You know, it is what it is. Also E0. And then finally, my favorite character from this patch is going to be Moza right here. I finally got him to level 80. He is going to be using FEIXIAO's signature light cone, because that's the best light cone I have for him other than cruising in Stellar Sea. My swordplay isn't maxed. He's rocking 2500 at 125 speed, crit rate 89, 118 crit damage, which is really strong. Obviously the FEIXIAO light cone, well, he takes advantage of it because his ultimate hits like a truck. Traces, he's E6, so his traces are pretty high up there, and I just don't have enough to get this as of right now, but I will work on that. So he should be getting an extra 10% crit damage. As far as his relics go, he is running a really strong Pioneer set because he does implant 2 debuffs. Here we have speed, crit rate, crit damage. Here, crit rate, crit damage with attack, crit rate, speed, and crit damage. Attack, crit rate, crit damage. Well, with the boots, because he doesn't really care about speed. You have the lightning boost orb with attack, speed, crit rate, which is really strong. And then we have energy recharge rope with crit rate, because I like my Moza with energy recharge rope because he is cracked with it. He's also E6. The only thing that matters here for the E6 is obviously the damage, and the E1 gives him a little bit of more energy, and then the E2 makes the crit damage debuff appear when he attacking, when he marks somebody as prey. So this is why he's so good with Dr. Ratio if you don't have Topaz. Actually, with even if you have Topaz, Moza's still really strong with Dr. Ratio because he gives more debuffs than Topaz in the base kit. All right, that's gonna be the teams. Let's go ahead and get to the showcase. We're gonna start with Ratio's run. Okay, so Ratio was really tricky because you really can't hit them both. You can't split your DPS too much because Ratio just doesn't do enough by himself in this team setup. Because remember, guys, this is a very like free to play friendly kind of like not low investment, but like not too crazy invested, you know. So Ratio ain't hitting like crazy numbers. The tricky part in this run is that we have 3 enemies instead of 2, which makes it a little bit harder, but thankfully with the buff we're able to take out the little ad with a little help from Moza. Now the tricky part here is that we need help from Venturine to chip damage away from both of these, because Moza's mark has to be triggered by somebody else attacking it, so you really can't split up the DPS that much. 113k from Ratio, pretty nice. 43k from Moza, pretty strong. And now if we can get one more Venturine ult, I think we're good. Or if we can just squeeze in one more ult. Luckily, we do have Moza's skill and ult combo to like get us over the hunch. And that's why we left the Thunder Weak enemy for last, because Moza deals full damage to him. Moza is a really strong character. And with that, here we go. Follow-up attack cleans it up. Perfectly done. This is trickier because we really can't burst Kafka. We really can't burst her down in like one go. So we're just going to have to, you know, eat it and get the robot out of the way, because the robot can like hinder our performance by not letting us go. You cannot avoid his terrified state. So we're just gonna have to deal with the robot first. See, I'm debating here to split up the damage, but I don't think it's something that I should do, because then we just lose out on a lot of DPS. And you'll see how I like try to split it at some point here, because Kafka's like pretty much full HP, and then we are almost like not like we're almost Like, we're not going to do enough damage to Kafka, especially since our Moza does not... she resists lightning, so Moza's not doing full damage here. I really like Moza. He's one of my favorite characters. So even though we're able to get the Robin ult right at the end, like, we really have nothing else. Like, our chamber is pretty much empty at this point. We've thrown everything we have at this MOC at this point with this Ratio team. The only thing we can do is just try to spam as many ults as we can, but Dr. Ratio will probably, like, will not take another turn because we already did the Robin ult. So we're just going to have to eat this cycle. So we're already down to 1 cycle. And we don't have Moza in the action bar or Robin, so we don't have extra hits that we can trigger. We are able to chip her down, like, quite a lot, but since we don't have anything other than Moza here, and Moza, like I said, is not dealing max damage, it's a real hindrance here. 40% resist is really strong. So had it not been because Kafka resists lightning, we could have, like, we could have done a lot better. We could have shaved off that cycle. And obviously the reason I'm not using Topaz here is because I don't have her. And obviously, like, I like Moza more for Ratio. So we were able to get a 2 cycle here, which is pretty, you know, it's okay. Like, it's not horrible for a team that only has 1 limited light cone, which is Faye's light cone. And Faye isn't even using her own light cone. Ratio's not using Faye's light cone. Moza is using Faye's light cone. So you could, like, we can swap it for swordplay. He'll do a little bit less damage on his ult, but everything else should deal, like, I think it'll even out at the end, okay? All right, now we have the FEIXIAO run. This one was a lot cleaner. I do say that. I will say that this run was a lot cleaner, a lot easier to achieve, because you don't have to really plan out the debuffs. The whole debuff planning that you have to do with a Ratio team is something you have to take into consideration. And then the fact that we can split up FEIXIAO's ultimates makes it easier for us to split our damage. Because, again, like, you can't really transfer debuffs. That's my main gripe with Moza, that his prey state does not transfer over if you kill. He needed, like, I'm pretty sure that is a really, like, crucial part in his kit that is missing. But then if he did that, then he would have been pretty much exactly like Topaz. So I kind of understand why they didn't do it. So here the idea of this team is just to stack up ults and then use them when we need them, just to get a faster clear. Again, Adventurine is a really crucial part here because his ultimate actually helps quite a lot. The crit damage you get from it, the extra hit for Moza follow-ups is invaluable here. And it also does a decent chunk of damage, 32k from a support. It's pretty strong. Now we're going to get this skill point and probably eat the hit and then ult right after Adventurine or before Adventurine. I don't remember too well. I think we ult before Adventurine. I think we hit the skill here. Oh no, we ult actually. Okay, so we have the spare ult, so we can go ahead and clear out the mob. Hopefully, like, unluckily we miss like 1 crit here and then he just doesn't die. So I'm like at this point I'm like, bro, what the hell happened? So I have to waste a skill here, but I think it's still good enough because we have Robin. So I guess it's fine. Moza's in the action bar, and ideally whenever you do Robin's ult, you want Moza to be out of his state so he can take advantage of the action advance. So here it played perfectly as well. 65k into 59 into Moza into another one, and that should be it. It's so satisfying to see. And we're going into the second stage with 2 ults just ready to go. So all we have to do is implant the debuff so we can do a little bit more damage, fire off an ult, and hopefully get this kill. Remember that she's using the cruising in the stellar sea lycon, so her damage isn't going to be that insane. I think, no, we don't launch the ultimate here. I think we're just waiting to get another turn with Faye so we can stack up another ultimate in case we have to, in case we can get away with not ulting the robot at all. Which, because he's weak to lightning and Moza's doing so much damage to it, I think we can get away with never using our ultimate on the robot and then saving both our ultimates for Kafka here. So with Kafka hits, we wish, or we pray that he hits Adventurine or Robin, so Robin can always have her ult when we need it. So here we're kind of getting close. So I'm trying to spam as many hits as I can so Robin can keep gaining the 2 energy or 4 energy that she gains in hopes that she'll get her ultimate. So this is why I burn one of FeiXiao's ultimates. I burn it right here, I think. Because right now we're overstacking, right? So if I had burned one ultimate, we would have been able to ultimate twice later. So it could have been a 0 cycle. So now we have 7, but remember we wasted 2 stacks, so we should have 8 at this point. Here I'm verifying how many hits I need. I need 3 hits or 2 hits, I think. Yeah, 2 hits will get us the ultimate. We have more than enough. All the follow-up attacks flow like water. It's so sad. I love this team. I love this team. I understand why people like follow-up attack. Now we hit for about 330k, which is really strong, and I think because we missed, you're gonna see here, like I'm gonna pause it right here. So right now we would have gotten the 0 cycle if we had not wasted the 2 stacks we wasted earlier. So had I played this a little bit better, had I like not been afraid to waste my ultimate here, not waste it, but use my ultimate, we would have had an ultimate here and we would have finished the fight right there. So it could have been a 0 cycle, but as you can see, Kafka's at 1%. And we got a 1 cycle there. So I try to make these runs as fair as possible for each of the characters. Ratio's run took me a little bit more to get because of the RNG of the enemies hitting Adventurine and for him to get his ult, and hitting Robin for her to get her ult is actually really important for you to get low cycle runs. But still, a 2 cycle run with a character that a lot of people got for free and a lot of people consider to be really, really strong single target DPS is still very, very good when you take into consideration that he's wearing a free-to-play Lycone. His teammates are very low invested. Moza's the only one that's a little apart because he has a little bit of higher investment because he's E6 with FeiXiao's Lycone. But if you have Taupe as a Numbi, that's a premium character, so you can kind of make the equivalency there. Well, it's pretty clear that FeiXiao right now is the best single target crit DPS we have in the game. I still believe Boothill is better at single target, but I mean, we can have that debate. Actually, we can do that video next, actually. So now for the final portion of the video, I have 2 runs with E6 Ratio and E6 FeiXiao, so I hope you enjoy. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and until next time, guys, see ya.
Dangerous thoughts resonate all together. Market of unpredictable. Stars echo.
Dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
SAS the measure of truth.
Dangerous harmony and unity.
No dirty tricks.
It's the watcher. Market of
The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Stars echo.
I left your fort to hunt.
No dirty. Watch your